What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Quarantine Kitchen, where I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it today. Sorry, it's one of those days where you have all these great ideas, and everyone is like, "We don't like your ideas," and I'm like, "But they're good ideas." Well, we don't like them, so we're doing it my way today because it's my channel and I can. So ha 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 ha. Anyway. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the world's most inconvenient nachos, but they're vegan, gluten-free, and delicious. So we are going to learn that today. So, shall we get started? As usual, there's going to be 3 parts to this lesson. The first one will be making the cashew queso, I think that sounds better. Cashew queso. The second part will be making the mushroom meat and black beans that go onto the nachos. And then the third part will be putting the plate together, and as requested, I will actually eat some of my food on camera today. I had a subscriber mention that she would love to see more taste tests, more of me actually eating the food I prepare, and I'm down for that, so we're going to do it today. So, shall we get started? Whoop. Moving down. There we go. Okay, so to make the cheese, you're going to need 2 cups of cashews. I have already soaked mine for 15 minutes. You don't have to do this, but my blender sucks. So because the blender sucks, we had to soak the cashews. So I need to drain those. Let me drain them, and then we will continue with the cheese. Let me get that drained. Okay, we're back. The cashews are now drained. For the record, this is what curly hair looks like when it's pinned up, because I know it's super wild, but crazy hair, curly hair, doesn't look the same 2 days in a row, and this is the best I could make it do today, so we got that going on as well. Anyway, cashews are drained. 2 cups of cashews, 1 teaspoon of garlic. We are going to be using nutritional yeast. I do not recommend this particular version. This is the vegan, gluten-free, sem additive, sem salt, chicken-free, which means it is chicken flavored. I actually prefer the normal, plain, nutty flavor because this actually has almost a bouillon flavor to it, but it's what I have, so it's what we're using. So if you are vegan and gluten-free and you want to make this cheese, I would not recommend this. I would recommend the other one. Anyway, we're going to use a 1/2 cup of this. I am not adding salt to this because I'm using bouillon for the stock. Then we have onion. And then, remember those chopped tomatoes that we made the other day? We're going to use that in our queso as well. 1/2 cup of that, which is about what I have, actually about 3/4 of a cup there. And then we're going to put all of that into the blender. We're going to blend it and make our cheese. So starting with the cashews. I've got my, I think they're desert, actually. They've got cacti and suns on them. I always thought they were like little spaceships, but upon further inspection, they are not. It also calls for garlic powder. I'm just going to use extra garlic because I can. Because I said so. Oh, I'm also putting hot sauce in this. It does call for jalapenos, but I don't have any of that. So it's going to be an interesting concoction here. I'm going to put... It calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. I do not have onion powder, so we are going to use my frozen onions just for a little flavor. I'm smelling it as if it smells like anything else but garlic right now. I'm special. Guys, it's been that kind of day. Teaching in 3, almost 4 different countries. And it's been a ride. Where is my measuring cup? Here's my measuring cup. And I want a 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast, which is going to be just about the rest of this. Delicious. Gotta love living in a humid environment. Oh, it's stuck. Guys, it's real. It's a real thing. This is what happens. There's also a little, that's funny. This is hilarious. There is one of those humid things stuck in there, those dehumidifiers, but it clearly didn't do any good because the powder is all stuck in the bottle. This is real life. This is what it looks like. This happens a lot. I need a longer spoon. There is a little bit more. I was wrong. It's 3/4 of a cup. Use a half a cup. I'm going to use 3/4 because I really want to use this stuff up. Because I don't like it. I'm going to save the bottle though, because I can use that for something. Look at this! Do you see that? Some sticky nonsense here. Should use that instead of glue on my craft projects. That's ridiculous. Okay. Sorry. And then a little bit of hot sauce. For the record, the recipe will be on the screen like it always is. So if you're trying to follow me along, don't. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Probably add more to the meat, especially. So, now, tomatoes. Ah, that's what I needed to measure. Because wanted to make sure that I didn't put too much tomato. Tomato can ruin a queso. Too much seasoning can just make it over-seasoned. What are we looking for? We're looking for a half cup. Looks like it's going in. It's a little over a half cup, but once it drains down to liquid, it will be under a half cup. So that'll be fine. Guys, this is reality. This is what it looks like. But I'm excited. So anyway, we have the cashew garlic nutritional yeast. I am not putting salt in it because of the bouillon, and also the nutritional yeast has kind of a salty flavor. Then we have onion, tomato, and then hot sauce. I'm going to blend this the best that I can because there's not a lot of liquid. Then you need a cup of vegetable stock. I have a bouillon cube boiling over there in vegetable stock. We're going to pour that in and blend it. But I'll come back before I put in the bouillon. You might be wondering why I don't blend on camera. Well, the reason for that is because I have the mouth of a trucker, and my blender is very uncooperative. It's super old. I did not buy it. It came with the apartment. That is the reason why I don't blend anything on camera. So I'm sitting here waiting because in all of my genius, when I thought I had turned my bouillon on to boil, it did not. So it's just a cube that's been sitting in water for however long it's taken me to get this ready. So while I'm waiting for that to heat up, entertaining myself with this. So as I predicted, the blender is not blending. I'm waiting for the bouillon because it needs liquid to blend, and hopefully we can get it to not too, I don't want it too runny because nobody likes super runny Cajun. Anyway, so I felt like I needed to come and do a little intermission and let you know kind of what's up. So, yeah, I can hear it. It's ready to boil, so I'll come back. Actually, you know what I can do? I can show you what it looks like. This is the progress that's been made. Yeah. As I said, super inconvenient, but delicious. Yeah, it's just a goop. It needs liquid desperately to blend because this blender sucks. And I say that because I do actually have, I have had in the past a good blender. This is not one of them. Appreciate it for what it is, but as soon as this quarantine is lifted, I'm getting myself a new blender and I'm getting myself an air fryer. Those are the goals in life. Anyway, so this is where we're currently at. I'm waiting for my bouillon to finish, and then I will add that to the mixture. We've got the boiling bouillon that we're going to add to the cashew concoction, and then we're going to blend it into a smooth texture. Why boiling? We're boiling because I want it to stay hot. I want my cheese to be very warm when I actually go to eat it. And we still have another step before we put the nachos together. So after I blend it, I'm also going to cover it. As it occurred to me in the last few minutes, the smartest thing to have done would have been to make the meat first and the cheese last, but I'm special and we're not doing it that way today. We're doing it backwards because I said so. So anyway, bouillon into the blender. And now I'm going to go blend this together off camera because there's probably going to be an explicative or two. So I will be... And voila, we've got a very nice runny cashew cheese ready for our nachos. So I'm going to set this aside and cover it so it stays warm. I may end up having to reheat it because it didn't come out as hot as I thought it was going to. If that's the case, so be it. You put it in a pan, reheat it on the stove. I won't show that on camera because I like to be perfect. Just kidding. Okay, so now for the meat base of our mixture. Again, I'm making 2 portions of nachos. I need a pan. No, I don't. What do I need? I don't know what I need, guys. I'm losing it. I need a bowl. Whoop. Handy dandy bowl. We are going to chop. I'm going to wash, actually. But I'm going to stem all of my mushrooms. And then I'm going to wash them. And then we're going to dice them and saute them with some oil and seasonings. For the seasonings, while I'm doing this, we are going to be using cumin, paprika. My spiced paprika, it's like my favorite thing in the world. And the reason for that is because it's the closest thing to like chili powder that you can get here. Brazilians do not believe in spice, at least not in the 2 cities that I've lived in. Even in Rio, there was some spice, but spice is not a thing here. This is definitely a South American country that doesn't have the jalapeno or the habanero or all those other spicy, delicious things. I like spicy food, so it's kind of one of the few things that I miss consistently. But yeah. So we're going to use a little bit of lemon, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of cumin, and a little bit of oil after we've diced the mushrooms. We're going to saute the mushrooms until they're cooked, and then in their juices, we're going to add in my beans. I'm using a canned bean portion today. One, because I actually wanted to try it. Usually in Brazil, you have to pressure pan your own beans. But this time, I'm going to use a portion of canned beans and we'll see how it works. I'm not a big bean fan. So we'll see. I am not going to add any salt to my bean mushroom mixture. And the reason for that is because the sauce has a lot of salt-based flavor to it. It has a lot of flavor. And with any good nacho dish, the cheese should be the star. So, it's going to be. I wish I hadn't used all the tomatoes because I kind of think, oh no, I have fresh tomatoes, never mind. We're going to top it with fresh tomatoes and olives. Stop. If you don't like olives, that's fine. Some of us do. I'm one of those people. So I'm going to top it with the meat mixture, the cheese, fresh tomatoes, olives, and then if I had a fresh avocado, you could do that. If you wanted to do, if you have jalapenos in your life, pickled jalapenos are also another fantastic way to top nachos. So I'll be right back. I'm going to wash my mushrooms, and then we'll come back and dice them. So, reality right there. See that? Yeah, this is real. Can't pretend with that nonsense. Okay, so now we are, I'll show you, maybe I can scoot down a little bit so you can see what's happening here. There we go. Dicing of the mushroom. That big old mushroom. Had to get 2 packages because a lot of them came out about this size. And then I'm like, well, that's actually not that much mushroom. It looks like it, but it's really not. And that's like deceptive. I love my job. I love what I do. We're going to leave it at that. I love what I do. I don't love it every day. Today is one of those days where I don't love it. But I love my job. We're going to de-stress with some nachos. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna have to. Actually, if I got a pan like a normal human being, I should have had this out, but I did not. Now, look, that's convenient. It took me 4 different tries to do laundry today. I did. There was at one point where I stopped and just stood in my kitchen and looked around at 4 unfinished projects that I had started. People think that I'm an efficient worker, and it's not. It's just I actually try to do everything all at one time. So it just looks like I'm really busy. Yeah, I was on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, there's like 4 things just looking around my life that are unfinished. Lots of unfinished business. Casper the Friendly Ghost over here. Such a good movie. I haven't seen that movie in forever. Cute 90s movie. Going back through some of the movies I loved as a child during quarantine, it's one of my favorite things to do. Like The Hunchback of Notre Dame. One of my undeniably favorite videos, especially growing up as a kid, because I have a very fond memory of that. I'm not sure why, but I was the child that got to go to the movies, whether I earned it or something. It was a special treat for just me. My stepmom took me, and I love that movie. And I still do, to this day. My favorite Disney song comes from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So there's that. But that's a really dark kids movie. If you have a chance, go back and watch it, or at least watch some of the themes of that movie. And it's just really dark, really held in racism and self-hatred and, like the whole theme of it is that the main character is ugly. And because he's ugly, he'll never be accepted by society. And the woman that he falls in love with can't love him back because he's ugly. For reasons that are not even his own. Like, it's not his fault that he was born with a deformity. That's not his fault. Anyway, super dark movie. I'm just rambling because there's, dicing mushrooms isn't really all that exciting. But, needed someone to talk to. Just needed to talk. So I'm talking to you. Right. It's fun. It's actually interesting because I know for a fact that there's at least 3 people in my life that watch my YouTube videos. So it's fun to think that they're like sitting in my kitchen and I'm just rambling the same way I would if they were here. I would too. This is how I think. This is how my brain goes just all the time. This is a lot of mushrooms. I didn't actually think it was going to be this many when I bought the packets of mushrooms. But sauteed mushrooms are delicious. And here's the thing. If it doesn't go on, because I separate everything, I'll have a container for the leftover nacho cheese. I'll have a container for the leftover mushroom bean mix. So, if I run out of nachos, I can make taco meat with this. Or enchiladas, or tostadas, or any of the other delicious ground beef Mexican recipes. So, it's okay to have too much. And these mushrooms were expensive too. So mushrooms are not usually expensive, and I don't think mushrooms should be expensive. It's literally a fungus. So I don't know where they get off being super expensive. Anyway. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to add the seasonings. I'm going to use the rest of this cumin because there's quite a few mushrooms in there. Do you see that? That's a lot of mushrooms. Now, here's the thing. I know about mushrooms. It's going to reduce to like the size of 3. So I probably actually have a good amount here. Going to need more cumin. Paprika. There's no justifiable measurements in this. I'll probably add more. And just because we can, we'll add a little bit of that in there. Definitely some of this. So for the record, bottled, that's the word. Bottled lemon juice sucks. If you have the ability to choose between fresh lemon juice and bottled lemonade, I highly recommend that you get the fresh stuff because this doesn't have anywhere near the potency or acidity of fresh lemons. And I know that's kind of a common sense thing, it wouldn't, but I actually thought this was legit lemon juice, and it's not. These are like diluted lemon juices, and so frustrated that when you want but now I have to use it because I bought it, so now I'm going to use a lot of it because I'm going to try to use it up because I don't believe in wasting food. So now I'm going to put some oil in this, and I'm going to saute the mushrooms until just about cooked, and then I'm going to add the beans in. The beans are already cooked. All I have to do is heat them up. That's why I'm not adding them in now. If you cook them too long, they can get mushy, and because these are canned, they're probably already mushy. So anyway, I will be right back after I have sauteed the mushrooms. Yummy. All right, first person view. So as you can see, the mushrooms are just about ready. So now I'm going to add the beans after I drain them. This is weird. Not used to doing this. Okay, beans are drained. So now I'm going to add the beans into the mushroom mixture. And I'm going to let that cook until the mushrooms are finished. Obviously, I'm going to. I'm going to mix it up, and when the mushrooms are finished, then we will come back on camera. It is time to plate the nachos. It's also confession time. I'm committing a cardinal sin here. If there is such a thing as corn chips in Brazil, I don't know what they're called, and I don't know where they are. But because we are during the pandemic, we can't always get what we want, so we have to make do. That's the whole point of Quarantine Kitchen. So I'm not using corn chips as my base for my nachos today. Don't hate me. I'm using rouflays. So there is a way to do nachos, and then there's a way to not do nachos. In case you didn't know, I'm going to teach you how to make nachos today. So, the worst thing you can do when making nachos is create a pile of dry, dead chips on the bottom of the tray. I hate that. Where you have the first couple of bites that are just so good and they've got all that flavor and they're like almost a little, excuse me, they're almost a little squishy. And then you get to the bottom and you're like scraping the sides trying to get toppings. It's just the wrong way to do nachos. So guys, we work in layers. Put a layer of chips. Then you put a layer of your cheese. It don't have to be a lot, but it's got to be some. And then you put a little bit of the meat on your nachos. And then just a little bit of your toppings. Then you do it all again. We create another layer of the nachos, just like a lasagna, really. So we got a good layer. Whoop. I don't know what the portion control of this. This is vegan junk food, guys. Don't judge me. And I don't know about American Ruffles, but Elma chips here in Brazil are absolutely vegan and gluten-free. It actually says so on the package. So, another layer of chips. Another layer of your cheese sauce. This came out really good, you guys. It's looking really good. Like, it looks legit like nachos. This is the final layer. Ideally, you want to get 3 layers, but I don't have enough for 3 layers. I'm just going to do 2. And then I'm going to do another topping of my meat. There we go. And then you want that tomato in there for just a brightness of color and like some crunch. And also I love fresh tomato. And then some olives. Jalapeno or avocado or sour cream just right in the middle would make it amazing, but I don't have that. So, as always, I have to take a picture of this before I can eat it. I'll be right back for the live taste. Okay, here we go. All right, as requested by a friend, gotta find the perfect bite, because you want the first bite to be perfect. You want to have everything. How about this one? Put a little tomato on there. Sometimes you gotta make your perfect bite, okay? All right, here we go. That's really good. It doesn't taste like cheese, but it's obviously not going to, because it's not cheese. I mean, you can't create dairy out of cashew, but. It's good though. It is. It has a very earthy richness to it from the cashews. Pop of olive gives it just a little salty. It's really good. All the flavors are really good. This was a masterpiece. Guys, try this. Please. Totally worth it. Okay. That was delicious. I'm looking forward to eating this. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can try this at home, or if at the very least you're entertained. So give it a shot, and happy cooking.